So it's no secret that there are people who have made millions trading Bitcoin and various other cryptocurrencies. Sadly, though, the truth is most people only lose money trading because it's a skill that takes a very long time to master. But what if you could piggyback off of the success of some of the top traders who have already learned how to master trading? Well, with copy trading, you can do exactly that. And today I'm going to show you step by step how to set up a bot that will automatically copy some of the top traders in the world. And since this is probably going to be a bit of a longer video, I'll include timestamps down below. But the good news is once you set this up once, you can just sit back and watch the money come in. So this is the website that I use for copy trading. And what I like about it is that when you sign up, you can actually find top traders and see exactly how well they're doing, as well as how well their copy traders are doing. So for instance, this trader right here who calls himself Dr. Crypto, you can see in the past 30 days, he has done over a 200% ROI. Now, if we dig into this a bit deeper, we can see more stats on how he's doing. So in the past 7 days, he's actually lost some money, but his total overall win rate is over 60%. His total P&L is over $3,500. And we see he's done over 162 trades with 98% of them being successful. So if we take his ROI and we annualize that, then that would be over a 4,000% ROI. Now, of course, past results are not indicative of future returns. However, it does give you some idea of how good this trader is. However, it's also important to look at the downside risks as well. So for instance, this trader, we see that he has lost 80% before in a single trade. In other words, he put money into a trade and it went down 80% before he closed that trade out. So that is quite a big drawdown. And you'll see this for a lot of big sellers, that they are willing to take on a lot of risk for a lot of reward. So you'll see a lot of days when they are in the red quite significantly, but overall their green days more than make up for it. Like this day, the guy made almost $8,000, but other days he lost about $4,000, $5,000, but it all gets made up for on the green days. We can also come down here and see exactly what coins he is trading. Now, the incentive for the traders who are being copied is that they will receive a percentage of the profit that you make every single day by copying them. So let's say at the end of the day, I've made $100 profit. Dr. Crypto is going to receive $20 of that. If I don't make any money though, or I lose money that day, then Dr. Crypto doesn't receive anything. But you can see here that there are a lot of copiers who are doing quite well. Like this guy has only been copying him for a week and he's already made over $200. This guy's made $90 in the past week, $55. So not bad. In the past 3 days, this one has made $134. But you see some people do lose money. Like this guy has lost a little bit of money right here. And I'm sure you'll see more people who have lost money as well. So this is really about finding the right traders to copy and trading and copying them the correct way, which I will show you how to do in a few moments. The point is these traders have an incentive to trade well. If you do well, they are going to do well. Now, with that said, you always need to do your own research. This video is, of course, not financial advice, and you need to decide for yourself how much you're willing to risk and if this is even a good idea for you at all. But if you do decide to try this, let me show you now, step by step, how to set this up. Now, the first thing you're going to need is a Blowfin account. Now, if you use my affiliate link, which is in the description of this video, when you sign up, you will get some sort of welcome bonus that is exclusive with that link. And it also helps out my channel, which allows me to make these videos available to you completely for free. So you'll land on a page that looks something like this. Just go ahead and enter in your email and a password, and then I will see you on the next screen. One thing I like about Blowfin and the reason why I use it is because it is available inside the United States, which is pretty unique for an exchange like this. A lot of them are not available to people in the United States, but this one can be used if you live, I think, pretty much anywhere in the world, which is quite rare. So go ahead and enter an email password and I'll see you in the next screen. Now, believe it or not, that is all you have to do to get signed up with Blowfin. Blowfin doesn't ask you for any type of identifying information like your name or address or a picture of your ID. That's called no or non-KYC, no KYC. A lot of crypto traders like that. They don't want to give out their personal information to exchanges like this. And this is one that allows you to do that. So your account is set up, but you don't have any money in it yet. If you hover over the top right where it says assets, you'll see you have $0 in here. So you will have to deposit some funds, some crypto into your account. Now, unfortunately, there's no way to link a bank account and send money directly from your bank into Blowfin. So we will have to use another exchange like Coinbase or Kraken to do that. So I'm going to click here where it says deposit. I am then going to select here on the drop down USDT. That is a stable coin. And then on the network, I'm going to select Ethereum. Now right here, I have mine blanked out, but this is my address where I'm going to be sending my crypto to so that it arrives in Blowfin. So I'm going to go ahead and click copy on that. That will then copy that address. And then I'm going to come over to my exchange. Now you can use whatever exchange you want to onboard your crypto. In other words, to take money from your bank account or from a debit card and turn it into crypto. But I use Kraken. I really enjoy it a lot. I think it's one of the easiest ones to use. If you want to try it out and use it yourself, I will have a link to Kraken, my affiliate link, in the description of this video. Once you have your account set up, you can go ahead and buy some crypto by clicking on the top right here where it says buy crypto. Let's say you just want to start out with $100. You can do $100. You can do more if you want. I'm going to select 100, and then you can go ahead and confirm and actually purchase that USDT. Now, one thing you have to be aware of is that there is usually a hold on new cash deposits. So if you make a deposit using ACH, PayPal, debit card, or digital wallet purchase, there will be a 72-hour withdrawal hold. Hard for me to say for some reason. Other methods might take even a bit longer than that. So just know that when you put money into your exchange, and that's pretty much true for all the exchanges, you will not be able to withdraw it right away. So you might want to do this a little bit beforehand, before you know you want to get started with Blowfin, and then a few days later you should be able to deposit it. I've already done that. I've already put into my account about $1,000 worth of USDT. You can see that inside my portfolio here. So I'm going to go ahead and withdraw that. I'm going to click on this, click on withdraw. And for my network, I'm going to choose Ethereum. This part is very important. We need to make sure we choose the right network, the same network we have on Blowfin. So coming back over here to Blowfin, you see the network I selected is Ethereum. These have to match. If they don't match, you're sending your crypto off to nowhere and it will just disappear and you will not have access to it. You will have lost that crypto. So I'm going to make sure it says USDT and Ethereum here, and that matches here, USDT and Ethereum. Then you need to add your address to your address book. So I'm going to click here where it says manage addresses. I'm going to add a new one. I'm going to call this Blowfin new in my case, but you might just call it Blowfin. I'll enter in the address here and I'll click on add address. So now it's asking me to approve that through my email. That's just a security step to make sure that no one's hacking into your Kraken account and sending themselves all of your crypto. So let me do that real quick. Okay, so now that that's done, I can click on the drop down and I'll select my address that I just put in there. So what they're showing you here is when you do that, you can see the first bunch of characters and the last bunch of characters. So what I like to do is I triple check. I check these things like 5 times. I never want to be sending my crypto to the wrong place or messing this up. So I'm going to check this again. USDT, Ethereum. I'm looking at the first bunch of letters and numbers here and the last bunch as well. And then I'm going to make sure that all matches up with everything here on Blowfin. USDT, Ethereum, and I can see that all those details are the same as well in the address. So then I can come down here to where it says withdrawal amount. I'm going to do 100%. That's the full 1,000 USDT. And then I will click the purple button here that says withdraw USDT. Now this is your last chance to check everything over. And yes, I will check it over again. USDT. I'm going to double check the address and I'm going to double check the network and all of that matches up. So I'll now click on the purple button. I'm getting some sort of error here. So let me just modify this a little bit. So I'm just going to do a even 1,000. For some reason, it's not letting me withdraw the full amount because of the fee probably. And then I'll click on the purple button again. All right, so now the money is being sent from Kraken over to Blowfin. You'll see it's not in here yet. So while we're waiting for that, because it can take a few moments, I'm going to head on over to the copy trading section, and we're going to look at who it is we are going to be copying. This part's really important. This is the part that can really mess you up as a copy trader or really seal the deal so you have a fantastic copy bot set up. So I'm hovering over where it says copy trading. I'm going to click on leaderboard. That's the section you want to come into. Now you see there's different sections here. They have the traders with the top ROI. We were just looking at Dr. Crypto, who's currently at the top of the leaderboard. We have the ones that are top prudent, which I'll explain in a minute. We have ones with the top copier's P&L. So what this shows you are not only traders that are doing well, but if we come into who is trading them, the copiers, these copiers are also doing very, very well. Like this one is over $200. This one's done over $850 profit. So that's a really good category to look at. And we have top new talent as well. So I'll tell you why it is I prefer the top prudent section. If we look at the ones in the top ROI, like Dr. Crypto, what you'll notice, like I was mentioning before, is they sometimes have massive drawdowns. So this guy, for instance, if you remember before, his max drawdown is 80%. That means on one of his trades, it lost 80% of his value. Now, if you are a new trader and you are coming in and let's say your first trade happens to be that one that loses 80% of its value, that is going to hurt a lot. And that very likely is going to cause you to turn off your copy trades. And then you're never going to lose money. You see, what these traders do well, what they understand very well, is that it's okay if you lose money. And it's okay actually if you lose money a lot, as long as when you do win, you win much bigger. And that's what this guy's done, right? On this date, he made almost $8,000, but the next day he lost $4,500. These large swings are really, really difficult to endure as a new trader, even if you're just copy trading, and will often result in people just quitting entirely. Even when you know that this is a good trade you're copying, when you have these massive drawdowns, it's really, really hard to stick with it. So that's why I really suggest people avoid these top traders. So instead, what I like to look at are the ones who are top prudent, because these ones have the lowest maximum drawdown in the last 30 days. So they may not have the highest ROI, but the drawdowns are much lower. So it's easier for you to stick with it. So let's look at this guy right here. This one has a 36 or 37% ROI, and his P&L is quite good as well. So let's go ahead and look at this guy. So we can see over the past 7 days, his ROI is 30%. Now, that is really good. That is really good. If you think about, most people say you put money into the stock market, you're going to make about 10%, give or take, every single year. And this guy has done a 30% ROI in 7 days. Those are outstanding results. Now, again, past results do not mean that they're going to be as successful in the future, but it's something to look at, right? Coming down here, we can see his win rate is 100%, which is actually quite crazy because that is an extremely high win rate. Like I was explaining before, you don't need to have a 100% win rate to do well. It can actually be quite low. But the higher it is, the more likely it is you are going to stick with them, which is why I like these types of traders. So I'm really, really digging this one a lot. He did lose some money yesterday, so I think these numbers maybe need to do a little bit of a catch up. But you can see overall, he's doing quite well. And I really like this because even if I make a little bit of money every day and it's not a massive amount, at least every day I will be winning. I don't have to worry about losing so much. I can see what he's trading. He's trading very bigger assets when it comes to crypto, like just Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's it. So he's not messing around with some of the smaller, more volatile coins, even though Bitcoin and Ethereum can be quite volatile as well. So I'm really liking this one, but let's take a look at maybe one or two other ones. I'll come back over to leaderboard, come back to top prudent. Let's look at this guy because 68% ROI is also quite impressive. And coming down here, we can see over the last 7 days, he's done 15%. Also 100% win rate as well. And his max drawdown is only 5%. So not bad at all. He's done 7 trades. His ROI is 68%. Annualized, that's 800%. And we can see kind of his results here. Now he's mostly trading Bitcoin and Ethereum, but he also is trading Atom a little bit too. Now the last section I want to look at, I forgot to show you guys this, is the copier section. So I actually showed you this briefly before, but I like to look at this because this will also show you how well the copiers are doing. This is very, very important. So this trader right here, this copier, put in about $500, and so far he's made $100 in the past 9 days. Not bad, right? Sitting back, doing nothing, and he's already made $100. This person only put in $30, but he's made $5, right? This one has put in $700. Oh, he just put it in. So these are new ones, so they're not going to have made any money yet. So not bad. He doesn't have a lot of people copying him, but the ones that are making money. And let me look at the other one that we just looked at because I forgot to look at. Oops. Where was that? Here we go. Because we forgot to look at his copiers. So these copiers are doing good as well, right? They're in the green. So in the past 4 days, this account, which had $300 in it, made $80. This one that had $5,000 in it made over $500. So lots of winners in here and lots of people that are putting a lot of money into this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split up my funds between the two of them. You don't have to put all of them into one copybot. You can split it up between multiple of them. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to split it up between these two guys because I like both of their results. So let's see if my assets are available yet. Yes, they are. You can see I have 1,000 USDT. So I'm going to come over to the trader I want to copy first. So let's first do this one. And I'm going to click here where it says copy. Now you'll see here there are two different ways to copy, smart copy and traditional. Smart copy is the way I would suggest that you go. The difference between the two of these is that when you have smart copy on, what it's going to do is it's going to open trades in proportion to how much money you have versus the trader has. For example, let's say you are just putting in here $100, okay? And the trader has in their account $10,000. Well, if the trader then puts $1,000 into a trade, you are only going to put $10 into your trade. It's in proportion to the amount of the trader's available money that they have. That is a much better approach than just trying to match them because, again, let's say you had $1,000 in here and the trader had $10,000 and he put $1,000 into a trade and you put $1,000 into a trade, you might lose most of that or all of that on one trade and then it's over for you. So doing things in proportion is a much smarter idea than using the traditional tab. So we're going to stick with a smart copy. And for this one, I'm going to put in 500. Now under advanced here, I really don't like, where is it? Oh, here we go. Under margin mode, I really suggest you do isolated margin because what that's going to do is it is going to make sure that you only lose the amount of money that's in your trade if you do lose. If you have on cross margin, then there is the potential that you will lose more money than you put into the trade. So you can look that up if you really want to know the difference between isolated and cross. But for myself, trying to be super prudent with this, I'm choosing isolated margin. Then under leverage, I'm going to copy the trader's leverage. So in other words, if they do 10x or 20x leverage, I'm just going to copy exactly what they're doing. And I'm not going to check off where it says take profit and stop loss per order. So what that would do is if I check that off, that would allow me to put in like, hey, if we go up 5%, 10%, something like that, I just want to close a trade, even if the trader hasn't closed their trade. And same thing in reverse. If the trade loses 5%, 10%, I just want to close the trade, even if the trader hasn't closed the trade. I don't like that because I'm trusting the trader here, right? And the trader has an incentive to make me money because, again, at the end of the day, if I make money, he gets a proportion of that. I think it's between 10 and 20%. So it is to his advantage for me to make money. So I don't check that off. I'm relying on the copy trader here. But again, I'm only putting the amount of money into this that I'm willing to lose. If this goes to zero, I'm okay with that. I'm willing to take on that risk. So let me double check everything here. I have half of my money invested. I'm using isolated. I'm copying the trader's leverage. I have read the terms and conditions, and I'm going to click on submit. So now that one is set up, and I'll come over to the other one. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Click on copy. I'll go through this one much faster. I'm on smart copy. I'll do 500. I'll do isolated, copy, I have read, and submit. And this is when I've learned that you cannot copy more than one trader at once. So I was actually not aware of that. So I apologize, guys. I've actually never tried to do that. So I'm going to leave this in the video because I think it is important information for you guys to know, and willing to admit when I don't know everything myself. So clearly I didn't know that. Instead of going back though and adding all the money into this one trader right here, I'm just going to leave it at 500 as a little bit of a test. If things go well, I will then edit it, or rather uncopy it, and then start it up again with the full amount. But for now, I'm comfortable just having $500 in there and seeing how it goes. And now at this point, all you have to do is sit back and just let the system work. You can come in here every day and check how things are going. However, the best approach to this is kind of be as hands-off as possible. When I've done this in the past, I've always just checked in at the end of the day, because checking in during the day, you might see that you are down a bit. It can feel a bit stressful. And this is why we rely on these successful traders, because they know how to handle that emotionally. And I will admit that it's hard for me even now to see myself losing. I don't like that feeling. So it's better just not to look at it, and just to look at it at the end of the day to see what the total P&L is, or profit and loss is for that day. But there you go. That's how you set up these copy bots using Blowfin. If you want to try this out for yourself, make sure to sign up with Blowfin using the link in the description of this video. Then let me know in the comment section how it's gone for you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.